I've decided to do a little bit of bonsai today because they are completely overgrowing and I feel bad every time I look at them. So I thought I'll give this half a day, my Sunday here, and try to do a task that's a little bit more relaxing than the building stuff. I'm just gonna prune this. Don't want to apply too much wire on the trees this year because it'll eat into the bark and I don't have enough time to give them the attention they deserve if I put wire on the branches. You always are.
You're a bit in. I think she wants to move in with him. Last one. I'm so used to. No, listen, I got my mum a zester for her birthday the other year. So.
No, but I remember you complained. That's so boring.
Yeah, but you were like, I just really
Like, that's
wish
all
for
I
it.
really need one.
Yeah.
I just moved away. I just moved away from home.
You can see, like, I see how this all.
Yeah.
This is fine for a start, Lily. I would
That's
want
perfect.
more.
Thank you. No, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
You'll get that in the oven. That rosy meat when it gets smoked as well. It's nice.
It's just, I never really do it.
There's so many recipes I get on. If I get some more, there's so many recipes on TikTok I get that use
Yeah.
like the quick pickled red onions.
Yeah.
That's all 40 tomato plants has its own stick now. I think it's a better system than last year, and all these plants should be way sufficient to make enough tomato sauce to last us until next year. So that's what it's all about, self-sufficiency here as well. Not all about, it's also about other stuff, renovating and all that, but I'm glad to have that done. The tomato plants have started crawling along the ground, so it's nice to get them tied up. So both they're easier to harvest and you can see the tomatoes, and better growth. Fordi ja, og nu er der også stormvejr, så nu bliver det... Hej Busse. Det er fandme hårdt, været hårdt.
Det kan jeg sgu da godt forstå, det kan man kende.
Nej, men så har vi tomatsauce til hele vinteren, jo. Jeg er tomato farmer.
Ja, tomato farmer. Vi er tomato farmer. Det er en smart ud også. Hvad er det, de ting, kat?
Det var bare fordi, jeg skulle til at rydde op nu. Tænk, hvis det der, det bliver ikke hvad han vil. I just realized how I really terrorize people with my strimmer when I cut the grass. It's gonna be a nice dinner with that in the background. But I'm one of those who can't complain because I cut so much grass. Oh, det ser da voldsomt ud. Ja, meget bedre i dag. Men det er også noget, jeg lægger mærke til. Italienerne, de får tit kolde tærter. Buonasera.
Buon appetito.
Grazie mille. Io ho sentito suonare il...
Organo.
Sì,
Sì.
ma sei bravo.
Ah, grazie. Dai.
E Valda e Roberta piacciono?
Sì. Oh.
Oh, beh.
Mi sai, piove.
Davvero?
Sì, sì. Un poco, poco. Oh.
Oh.
Ciao.
Ciao. One of my projects now is to turn this one into this one. So I need to make a hook so I can attach the roof to the iron pipes out there. You can't buy these. you have to make them, or else you have to order them from China, and I can't wait for that. That seems to be possible. Yesterday when I was bending these screws to turn them into hooks so I can attach the new roofing sheet to the lean-to roof, I started feeling like this needle inside the side of my ribbage cage. I've been having this pain since I started moving that big rock for the step down. But when I was sort of standing here bending these screws, I really felt it, and I went inside the house to Stina and said, I think we should go to the emergency room. I don't know what this is. It might be something very serious, but we got there and there was no line, and they pretty quickly concluded that it's just a muscle strain. So nothing too serious at all, but they of course told me that I have to take it slow, and I can't really work too hard for the next week. And when you're like me, that's like the worst message you can have. I always believe that it's to make pain go away, you need to use the body, and you need to not sit down and do nothing, but it's just too painful to work. So I think I'm actually gonna take the advice and do some slow projects this week. So I had hoped to put up that roof this week, but that's probably not gonna be a reality. But on a more positive note, a lot of you guys has commented congratulations on the last video because it finally got too obvious with Stina that we are having a baby, and it's a boy, so that's very exciting. I planned with myself that I wasn't gonna say anything before a subscriber noticed it, and I guess after that walk or hike we did last week, everybody noticed it. So yeah, we were very exciting. We're gonna increase the population in our little city here greatly, given that we're only 5 people now. We're gonna be 6 soon, so that's a nice increase. I mean, people that lives here all year round, so that's nice. Being a dad, it's gonna be very exciting. I have a new most important task, and I can't wait to start our little family here on the mountain. I think it's gonna be a great childhood with all the nature and all the things to do. So that's very exciting. Also, becoming a dad, I can now start making grunts when I stand up and sit down, so that's going to be very exciting. I can start wearing white New Balance shoes and tuck my polo shirt in my pants. I already care a lot about the lawn, so I'm all good to be a dad right there. I don't have to feel ashamed anymore with all my dad jokes, so that's perfect. Finally, I can really say them with pride. And I already do all my DIY projects, so I'm good on the dad front there. And I should get myself a trailer, and whenever I strap things down to the trailer, I can say, that's not going anywhere. Oh, that's very nicely tied down. And the muscle strain I have now, that's just being a dad, you know. That's how it is. So yeah, very exciting. That's gonna be a cool experience. I think it's gonna change the perspective on life very much. So this is the one I put on last year. The hammerhead I put on the branch last year. Here to check up on it, see how it's doing. If I can take it off in the autumn this year, we'll see. It's definitely overgrown here in the width, but it's not filled the hole completely in the height. It probably would have been better to try to center it, but I didn't think of it when I put it on, but it might need one more season. But in the spring I could get my finger in and touch the trunk of the actual tree. Can't do that anymore. So far it's a nice straight shaft. I'll check up on it in the autumn and see how we are doing. I have now taken all the measurements of the doors and the windows, and I thought I might as well use my time in a good way now that I can't do any heavy lifting. So tomorrow I'll go to all the local businesses that does windows and doors and start gathering some offers. These measurements are just how I don't know what you'd call it, how you'd phrase it in English, but raw measurements, which means I'm just gonna give them these measurements to get an offer, because I want them to come do the measurements before I pick a measurement. So it's not my fault again hence the skylight windows. So it's not my fault if something goes wrong, it's their fault, which is just a good rule of thumb. So that's what I'm gonna do. The measurement before taking the final measurements, I also need to put some plaster here and there and make the surfaces smooth, the horizontal and the vertical ones. So yeah, I just want to put my time when I can do heavy lifting to good use. It looks like a mess right now, but I've guided the branches in the directions I wanted, and if I may be so bold, I might say it's starting to look like a bit like a chair here in the lower part. Of course, it needs some years, maybe you'd need to say a lot of years before you can actually sit in it, but much of the groundwork is definitely done. Now I just need to guide the back support as the season goes. But for now I think it's fine. Are you guys by the pool, or where are you? All right.
It's not in the
It's
middle.
crooked.
It's crooked.
Oh yeah.
Was what we talked about.
ChatGPT says it's okay. Normal.
You felt it kicking and everything now?
Yes.
Then?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Jesus
it.
Christ, it's all the time now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Watch your legs.
She's not in yet.
You're not even in.
Oh, nice. Oh, there's some throttle there.
There you go. Oh yeah, she moves, yeah. Yeah, cool you down.
Hilarious. Oh, nice, Darcy. Now you're all good.
There you go.
Just quick and easy.
Yeah.
And then we had loads of tomatoes, well, quite a few tomatoes didn't we, to get rid of.
Yeah, just talking about tomatoes. He said when we come back, you want us to be in abundance. So
Yeah,
we want you to
I
have
have.
any.
I've planted 47 plants, so it should be. But I hope it also gets us through the winter with tomatoes also, like a real self-sufficiency journey. bare lidt til gæsterne, eller det bare været en irriterende dag?
Nej, jeg synes bare, jeg er træt i min krop, og så har jeg bare lige mange ting, jeg skal.
A pretty frustrating week because I haven't been able to do any heavy lifting because of the muscle strain, but also some good news that we're gonna be parents, have a baby boy in October. That's gonna be nice, and a complete change of perspective in our lives. I think we can make the coolest childhood ever here, so that's gonna be fantastic. But I've just tried to do all the tasks that doesn't require heavy lifting. There are some of them I've been putting off for a while, especially all my bonsai trees. It's nice to be up to date. I've been feeling bad for them. Although with all the grass around you can't really see them, but I figured I don't want to cut the grass because now it actually provides pretty good shade, all the grass around them, so they don't have to stand in the baking sun entirely all day. There's a bit of shade created around them, so I'm just gonna leave it until end of August, I think, because then the heat will slow down a bit. I measured all the window holes, and I've been driving around getting offers from all the local window factories I know, or producers probably. They're not that big, so yeah, I want to try to buy it locally. I've made stands for all the tomatoes, which is nice. Definitely an improvement upon last year, but a bigger work because each tomato has its own stick to grow up. So I think the yield this year is gonna be big enough to share with the whole city, and for us to make our own tomato sauce for the entirety of the winter. I've been getting my grow your own chair project up to date, which is nice. Can't wait until 5 years when I can sit in it. It's gonna be fun. I added the T-piece to the irrigation hose so that I can water in another part of the garden, so I have a hose there. That's nice. I don't think there's anything else to say than that, and I apologize that I haven't been doing any heavy work, exciting renovation work, but for once I'm gonna try to relax when the doctor says it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching anyways, and I'll see you next week.